Hi there, eighth graders. So we are going to continue our work with learning about child soldiers. And so it's going to be important today because we're going to kind of take our research, we're going to learn how to add more to it, and then we're going to finish the day with having our own opinion and being able to support our opinion. So take out your charts from yesterday. You should have, you were given five or a column, and on both sides, you had to fill out here's how it can be supported that child soldiers are victims. Here's how it can be supported that child soldiers are perpetrators. Okay. And what I want you to do is just kind of look at it and just kind of think to yourself, okay, what's new? What surprised you? What did you already know? And I know we talked about that yesterday with the video. We learned a lot about what these kids have actually gone through, and you can read about child soldiers, but actually knowing specifics of things that they've seen, things that they've been forced to do, things that they want to do. Think to yourself for a second, how did your thinking change on this topic after your research? And then the focus for today is that when we're arguing, it's not just sticking to a side and being stubborn and not changing. When you argue, the important thing is that you are able to think and be willing to change your mind and change your thinking and shift your thinking based on new evidence, new ideas, new research, just to give justice to the issue. Issues that are going to face our world that are real human moral issues, you have to be willing to adjust your thinking to be able to understand other people's lives, other people's positions, other people's stories. Okay. So the goal today is to continue to add to our thought processes and be willing to adjust and understand both sides. Not every issue is going to be concrete, yes, no. Like, you have to be able to understand that I'm going to deepen my thinking. I'm still going to have a stance. I may adjust my stance, but we need to be willing to continue to research, continue to shift, continue to change. Okay. So this is not an easy task. The most important thing is making sure that we continue to focus on being more informed, whether the topic is child soldiers, whatever the topic may be. Maybe it is something that is super important in America. Whatever it is, you need to be more informed. So continue to research, continue to talk, continue to read, and don't be stuck. Be willing to adjust your thinking. Okay. So here's what you can do. You can think about what you already know. Take what you know, think deeper. And I know sometimes you're like, why do I need to do that? The more you think, the more you start to question, the more you wonder, the more connections your brain's going to make and the deeper your thinking is going to get. You want to be able to debate with somebody, have a conversation with people, see what they see, and those conversations can deepen your thinking as well. And then other things you can do is continue reading, right? Read more text, watch more videos, read books. Even if they're fiction books, they still talk about important things. So then ask yourself, okay, what does this extend? What does this add on? Does it add on new information? Does it deepen my thinking? Or does it interrupt it and make me pause and think, okay, maybe I was wrong. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice that with one of the articles from the text set that we shared with you yesterday. The text is called "The Child Soldier Imprisoned at Guantanamo." And we're just going to look at the second and third paragraphs. If you read this, you might have read the whole thing. But as you read this, think, does this extend to what I know? Does it add something new? Does it cause me to pause and think, okay, now hold on? Because you might read this and think, wow, this is completely different from the interview that we watched yesterday. Okay. So Kadir, only 15 at the time of his apprehension, but 24 now, has pleaded guilty in a military commission to 5 charges, including murder in violation of the laws of war for the killing of U.S. Army Sergeant First Class Christopher Speer. Speer was fatally wounded on July 27, 2002, after U.S. forces entered a compound in Afghanistan where Kadir and others were located. After a firefight ensued, prosecutors alleged Kadir threw a grenade that killed Speer and wounded others. Kadir was also seriously wounded in the firefight, half blinded in one eye and with 2 bullet wounds to his chest. In bringing the murder in violation of the laws of war charge before a military commission, the U.S. government is saying that the killing of a combatant openly on the battlefield is a war crime when committed by an irregular combatant. It is a novel legal argument. Merely engaging in battle as an insurgent rather than a member of a regular army has never made such battlefield conduct a war crime. And Kadir's plea deal makes the U.S. the first Western nation since World War II to convict someone for acts committed as a child war in a war crimes tribunal. So think for a second. What is it saying about this conviction? And why is there, what are they bringing up here? Okay. Take a second, pause. Okay. Think, what new information is it giving you? What new information are you learning? Does it change your thinking in a way? Okay. And what you're going to do today is you're going to continue to research. Now, you can take articles that you've read and think, okay, how can I add this to what I know? What else can I learn? So, seeing this, I'm seeing that, okay, he's having, he- he's being prosecuted, but it's the very first, the United States is the first nation since World War II to convict somebody of these crimes. So, it makes you question things. So, whatever you decide to interpret this as. Maybe it changes your opinion, maybe it adds to your opinion, maybe it deepens your opinion, okay? But remember, your goal is to strengthen your opinion, but also be willing to adjust, okay? So take a second today. And I want you to continue to research. Now, it's going to feel a little bit different than yesterday because you already have background knowledge, because that's what yesterday was. You were finding that background knowledge and getting a basis of your opinion. But as you have your background knowledge, maybe go out and find a new text, maybe go watch a different video and look and think to yourself, okay, what details are standing out and what can I do to strengthen my opinion? Or is it going to make me pause and question, okay, where do I stand? Okay. And then after you do that, after you add a little bit more, okay, you must add a little bit more. You have to go research a little bit more. But after you do that, what I want you to do is you're going to get this organizer. Your goal today is to make your opinion. Do you think child soldiers are victims or do you think they're perpetrators? Should they be given amnesty? That means should they be forgiven for their crimes or and I do this because it depends on where you stand. Or are they perpetrators? Um, are they considered the people who are causing harm on others? And should they be, persecuted that way? So you should have an opinion by the end of class today or at the beginning of class tomorrow. And you are going to finish your claim. Now, we've talked about word choice. We'll get into that later. You will adjust this later, but you will say child soldiers are, you'll put either victims or perpetrators, and should be given amnesty or, um, seen in trial or things like that. Okay. Then you're going to come up with 3 supporting reasons. Okay, 3 reasons. And now you have information in front of you from what you did yesterday from your research. Take the 3 that you think you're going to get the most out of and the things that you think really either causes them to be victims or causes them to be perpetrators and give those 3 reasons. And then this is also a place that you can jot down a piece of evidence or 2 from your research. So do that here. Okay. And then finally, this is just a hint at the counterclaim and rebuttal. You don't have to get super detailed into it. But what's the other side? Specifically, remember a counterclaim is specific to a reason. And then why might they believe that? And then adding some evidence to how you know that. Okay. So a little bit deeper thinking, come up with a position and have your reasons to support that. All right. All right. Thanks.